Hello everyone, it's Strawberryelli here and thank you so much for joining me in another video. When you watch this video, I'm probably gonna be in a different country already. I'm following one of my biggest passions, and that is traveling around the world. And for sure, I'm definitely gonna have the items I'm gonna share with you in this video today in my backpack, because these are my travel must-haves. I always take them with me wherever I go. They have multiple purposes and they add personal value to my life, so they're really important for me, and that's why I want to share them with you in this video. So without further ado, I'd say we start off with my first travel must-have. Doing yoga every single day is definitely something that is really important for me. Since it is my me time, I feel way more balanced and just mental clear if I can do yoga every single day. And to make sure that I'm able to do that, I travel with my yoga mat. And it's actually not difficult at all to take that with me, since, as I said, it's a priority and I definitely have room for that now. I don't really travel with a lot of other things, but my yoga mat has to come with me now when I go anywhere. And it's not a travel mat because I've experienced that these are too thin for me. I want to have a little bit more support, but this one is still quite light and really good quality. I like this yoga mat a lot, and yeah, I take it with me just in my yoga mat bag, and that is this one right here. And it has a big pouch for the yoga mat, but I'm also gonna put other things in here. It has two other separate pouches and it has a strap, so it's really easy to carry and it's really comfortable as well. So as I said, I also have my electronics in here. For example, I can put food in here, maybe a few items of clothes or anything like that I can also store in here. So I just have this yoga mat bag and also my small backpack, so it's definitely not a lot to carry, and as I said, it adds value to my life and I just enjoy doing yoga, so it's definitely not something that is a burden for me to carry my yoga mat with me. So I always make sure to do that. Also, if you're not into yoga, traveling with a yoga mat can still be really beneficial for you, just in terms of sitting on it, if you want to not just sit on the floor, also just as a normal exercise mat or just lay on it. I think it's just really comfortable item, another thing to sit on, chill on, lay on, do exercise on, or as I said, just do yoga on. So a yoga mat I think is great for that. Traveling can get really stressful sometimes, and during these times, especially with moving around a lot, I want to make sure to still have the healthy habits I have in my daily routine and that I follow them, and that I just do the things in my personal life that just make me feel balanced and organized and mental clear. And one of these things is definitely journaling. I journal almost every single day to just organize my emotions, my thoughts, and just have that me time during the day, to just settle down, clear your mind, and just feel better overall. So what I do is I just carry my journal everywhere I go. And I think journaling is just really beneficial for your mental and emotional health. So I can only recommend doing that. And carrying a journal with you is definitely not difficult. One tip on the side, I always put it in my packing cube where I store all my clothes, so it doesn't take up extra space. And you take your packing cube with you anyway, so it's easily stored, it's out of the way, and you make sure that you can journal wherever you go. I mentioned these things in a lot of other videos before, and that is because I think it's just so important to travel with your own utensils. And that is because whenever you're on the go and you want to eat something, you don't want to pick up plastic cutlery once they are just crappy and not really good quality, and then afterwards you have to put them in the trash. And I don't want to produce any extra waste if I can just use my own cutlery. So I always travel with a wooden fork, with some chopsticks. I just like to eat my salads, for example, with chopsticks, so it's always a fun experience to have these with you. Then I have my metal straw with also my brush, which is just in there, so I can also easily clean it out afterwards. and then this spoon, which is really good for scooping, and that way I can always eat something on the go. I just rinse them out afterwards and I'm good to go. And also another thing before I forgot to mention it in terms of cutlery and utensils is this cutting board, and it's just an easy, light and thin cutting board. I always make sure to take with me, just if you're anywhere you can just easily cut up fruit and you don't have to pick up a new one. And yeah, it's really light and easy and slides easily in your backpack, so you're good to go. As I mentioned before, I like to travel with things that have multiple purposes. So one of these things is definitely my sarong. So for example, when I'm traveling through countries in Southeast Asia, I have to cover up sometimes, especially in countries like Malaysia or Indonesia. And I just put that on so I respect their culture and I'm more covered than just wearing a tank top and some shorts. So I just put them over my shoulders. It also protects me from the sun. It can get really hot there, and that way you make sure that you don't get sunburned. Also, I just put it in the park, for example, to sit on, to lay on, and you can also just use it as a towel to just dry off, or you can even use it as a blanket because it can get really cold, especially on airplanes, and you can even use it, for example, as a pillow. So sarong has just so many different purposes, and I personally just like to travel with it and to just use it for so many different reasons. And yeah, that's basically why I have it with me and why it's a must-have for me. When I'm traveling around a lot, obviously I want to make sure that it is comfortable for me, for my posture, and also for my feet. And one thing I like to take with me to always make sure that I am comfortable are these Xero shoes. Now, I've mentioned them in a lot of previous videos before, and that is just because I love them so much. They are so comfortable, they're super lightweight, they have the zero drop, as you can see, though they're really good for your posture, and they're just really comfortable. You feel like you walk barefoot in them. They're also, as I said, lightweight and super good to travel with. I personally just put them into my yoga mat bag, and they don't take up a lot of space at all. And then I just put on my Xero shoes trainers, which I mentioned in a video before. They're also really lightweight and comfortable. I just like to have a little bit more support when I move around a lot. But when I get to a destination, I just put on these, and they're just so breathable, comfortable, and yeah, just the perfect sandal to travel around with. My last item is not really something I personally travel with, and that's just because of personal preferences. But I do travel with my boyfriend, and he uses this item quite a lot. So in a second, I'm gonna explain why.
So something that I found that is very important for me to travel with is my sleeping mask here. And I go everywhere with this, even if I just go somewhere for one night or a much longer period of time. I use it to sleep with every night because Ellie likes to leave the light on and work a little bit later, and there's a window and light coming in, anything like that. I just want to be able to make sure I can fall asleep easily and I don't have anything like that will keep me up. I'm a very light sleeper, so I have this and I have the earplugs that go with it that I use every single night, I think now.
Yeah, and it's just something that I don't value as much because it just makes me feel a bit anxious having something on my face, but it's definitely something that adds value to Evan's life, so it's definitely one of his must-haves.
Sleep is fun.
Alright guys, I guess that's it for my and also Evan's travel must-haves. As you see, it differs from person to person, so I'm definitely interested in hearing what are some essentials you always take with you when you're traveling. So leave me some of these suggestions down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you're thinking. And in general, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day, amazing travels as well. And I see you in my next one, somewhere else in the world. Bye guys.